Psalm 92:13 says, "Those who are planted in the house of the Lord will flourish in the courts of our God." While I agree that we shouldn't take a verse out of context, where it loses its meaning, or you give it a different meaning, this is one of those verses. It's a foundational verse it's standalone. It means a lot, and I'm going to, on the next couple of videos, talk about what it means. You've got to have roots. You've got to belong to the church. You've got to really be part of the church and not just a visitor. If you go on Sundays for an hour, you check off the box in your little to-do list, and you go home and you go about your business, and you're a guest. You really are. I mean, you can get so far as a guest, but that's not true membership. You're not planted. You might be a guest in the same church for 15 years. But if you go every week and that's all you do, just go to church and go home, then you're just a guest. You're not truly planted. I think this is one of my beliefs, and something that I would venture to say most people at my church believe, that if you're not really planted, then you're not really a Christian. Because Jesus was planted. Maybe he wasn't planted in one place. He didn't have roots. He didn't have a home. A place where he could lay his head. But he really got in there. Jesus really got in there with people. He didn't just show up and then leave. No, he really got in there. He lived next to the people, walked next to the people, talked to the people, interacted with the people. He was really there. And that's what we got to do. To be a real Christian is we've got to be planted. We've got to have roots. We've got to more than just show up and worship. This can take various forms, of course. It doesn't mean that you have to be a preacher and you have to lead worship. That doesn't what it mean. That could be, but that's not what it means. It means just being there and being active, taking a role. Maybe you work in the nursery. Maybe you greet people when they come to church. Maybe you stuff envelopes. Maybe you line up the chairs in the sanctuary. Those are all roles. You're doing something. You're an active person of the church. You're not a visitor anymore. You're not a guest. You're not just showing up, checking out the box. Now, most of you know, you probably see where this is going, because one of my active role at the church, though I do various things, is parking lot guy. That's a big part of my identity at the church. Wouldn't be the same without Phil in the parking lot. Heard that multiple times, many times. I wear an orange hat, either orange like baseball cap. I've got a stocking cap, or a stocking cap in the summer that's bright orange, or a hunting cap. It's got ear flaps, because it gets cold. You probably, if you're one of the people who stalk me on Facebook, also, then you've seen pictures of my hats. And an orange vest. Orange because that's the color of our church. The people in the parking lot volunteers wear the orange vests. Doesn't matter, really, what color you get. Orange is best, I think, because I love orange. But, everyone on the team needs to wear something. Like, when my friend Kenny works at his church, they wear green. Well, it's like a neon yellow, greenish yellowish thing. That's great. But I really think that everyone on the team needs a jersey. That's okay. Football metaphor, woo! I progressed. I'm not just a nerd anymore. I used a football metaphor. You wear a team jersey. Okay, in sports, they have their number and their name. Okay, in parking lot, you've got to wear a vest that matches, with stripes, or a T-shirt. Everybody on the team wears the same T-shirt that says parking on it, or something, because you're part of a team. That's where the title 50 Shades of Orange comes from. It's kind of a play on ha ha ha, but it's a play on that soft porn that came out last year. I'm trying to like steal some of their thunder. Maybe I'll get somebody to buy the book and think that it's going to be about a parking lot guy getting jiggy with it or something, but it's not. It's about how everybody needs to match when they're in the team. They need to all have the same color, and I like orange. Orange is my favorite color. Um, really gone off the deep end on this one, but it's about okay. It's about parking. That's what I want to talk about. Being planted, and planted for me means parking. It has different roles, and I might branch out because I'm starting to get kind of burnt out in the parking lot. Really, I mean, even though I love being out there, it's just like that's the only thing people recognize me for at church, and I can do more. I've thought maybe inside security. We have people who walk around. Maybe a greeter.